I've checked many boxes. I've been a play caller. I've been a head coach. I've won a championship. I've put guys in the NFL. We recruited at a high level. We've done a lot of things, and I've checked a lot of boxes off my resume. The one box that I have not checked is being an FBS football coach, Power 5, football coach. I've coached at the mid-major level.
That clip was from HBCU Game Day. Those brothers are doing fantastic work out there. Please go check their channel out. Please go check their website out. With that being said, another HBCU head coach, which we've talked about, had a lot of concerns about, is leaving for the Power 5. Not quite a head coach position. And maybe that's some of the nuance I want to talk about, because this time last year, essentially in December of 2022, the Colorado Buffaloes hired Coach Prime. And we're going to be talking about the differences at the fallout between Coach Prime and Coach Simmons. But Willie Simmons is a little bit different. He comes a year later. He comes after success. They won a SWAC championship, and a big difference, they actually won the Celebration Bowl. So he won a national championship for FAMU, and it's a lot of, well, what else can he do? A lot of people in the heyday have been, sending pictures and remembering ideas of Eddie Robinson, who was a legend at Grambling, who stayed many years for a long time, and being able to build out his own platform and making Grambling a legendary institution, not only HBCU wise, but in the college football history. But everybody's not going to do that. Everybody has different aspirations, and I want to read a quote from Willie Simmons. He quotes, "Only 3 HBCU head coaches have gone on to become FBS head coaches: Willie Jeffries, Jay Hobson, and Deion Sanders." And that weighed heavily in his decision, meaning that shit ain't common, okay? That is just not every day, and he had to wait in line. And when I look these people up, Willie Jeffries, legit. Jay Hobson does not look like the other people on this list. Wait until you Google him, who went from Alcorn State to Southern Miss head coach, I believe, if I got that right. So you'll see why. And Deion Prime Sanders. Oh, well, Coach Prime did it last year. Other coaches might be doing it or have done it before. It's really not like that. And it's a shame, because when you look at it, Willie Simmons is a damn great football coach. He should have been highly sought after Power 5s, but you got to understand the mindset of these athletic directors, and Coach Prime is a great example of it. He came in with his own cachet. He came in with his own clout, is what I'm getting at. He came in with his own following. You can look at Colorado's following and how their social media just has gone completely out of control. Their IG, their YouTube, Facebook, all of that is up. So when you make a hire like that, you're really comfortable. Athletic director is really looking for a coach to not only be a great football coach, win, but can you transform the program? Can you get the donors and the boosters excited to give more money? And that was the stronghold at the end for FAMU. They couldn't come up with the money. Willie was like, God dang, we got all these incentives. That's great. I'm glad we hit them. Now can we bump up my contract? I've coached my ass off, and now it's time to pay off. FAMU told them no. And when he had a firm offer, from my understanding, FAMU then decided to say, look, well, let's try to get you some more money. And they went out and shook the boosters and the alumni for some money, and it came up with, my understanding, it got up to 100-some thousand plus to try to keep him. But in a Power 5 conference, and an opportunity to do something different, in an opportunity where it doesn't actually happen like that fast for coaches, it was more advantageous. So yeah, I'm glad it's not the same kind of fallout as it was last year. Now, I've seen some FAMU posts. I've known some FAMU alumni who were like, he was going to leave at the first opportunity. And again, that nothing's wrong with that. I guarantee you work at McDonald's, Burger King is going to pay you $10 more an hour. You're going to think about it. And that's just with any walk of life. You at UPS, but you can get on with FedEx for a whole lot more money with better benefits. Your ass gonna be the first thing out the door. So I don't like the whole complaining thing about, hey, you should, stay down for the culture and all this other stuff. It's about what? Elevation. And I'm not saying the HBCUs are not the top notch, but I'm talking about elevation as far as profit. Can I put my family in a position to not only, be, I guess, first generation millionaires, But more than that, can we build on that and start our own family legacies? And FAMU was paying him a pretty penny from his incentives that he had to stay on for until December 31st. He couldn't resign before then. His incentives paid him roughly $250,000 plus his base. That's a good penny, but that's not legacy building. I'm sorry to say that. That's not going to be 30 years down the line worth it. Now, whatever his contract at Duke is, that's going to be fantastic, but he's definitely going to be looking to parlay that because he's a head football coach and he understands what he's going against. And that's some of the hallmarks he had in this big, long ass message. Now, Willie, I appreciate you writing to Rattler Nation, but this was a long ass a statement that you left. But look, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but a lot of the highlights were just him appreciating his time and wanting the fans to know that it was a tough decision. And you can see that anytime you write a 6-7 paragraph essay to Rattler Nation. They lost a damn good coach, and they have an interim coach, and they're going to go from there. And, you know, it's going to be hard to replace that. It's going to be hard to go from SWAC champion, national championship coach to whoever they can bring in, especially after the cycle is over, because the transfer portal is about to close up, and a lot of the Power 5 talent has gone to Bethune-Cookman. They've been working. Them boys been cooking. All right. Shout out to the coach down there. He knows that he got some talent in the house. So it's going to be really tough for whatever FAMU coach that's going to come in. I would love to see them, you know, get in the Fred McNair race, because what's going on at Texas Southern is absolutely, it's just disappointing. I'm not going to say, you know, they can't go about the business their right way. I just don't think they have. Needless to say, moving on. He is talking about Willie Simmons. Coach Willie Simmons is now going to be at Duke, and now he comes into a program with a first-year Manny Diaz. That's a lot of job security, all right? Manny Diaz is very respected, former, he was the Penn State defense coordinator. He was a Miami Hurricanes head coach for a little while. I know he had been their defense coordinator before he left for the Temple job and went back to Miami. But he's going into his first year at Duke football. Duke really wants to win, and I know they're going to give him some time. They usually and typically give coaches some time. The coach before then just left to go take another job, another high-paying job. So with that being said, he has some stability up there in Durham. They have a good football program they want to buy in, especially some of the money has been freed up a little bit, the marketing money, the loose money for donors, because Coach K is retired and Duke basketball is not, you know, what it was. So there's more, I think there's more of an emphasis to invest in other sports, including football, which has been doing really, really well for the past few years. Now, I know they been to a few bowl games every now and again, but now they want to get into the race. Now they want to beat the Florida States, the Clemsons. They want to set their name up. And with that being said, being on the ground floor, that is very exciting. Again, you got stability. It's Durham. You have an HBCU connection in North Carolina Central University just down the road. I know that they can call on Willie or Willie have an affinity for them because he's familiar with them. I'm sure he has some connections over there. So that it's not a new city where he doesn't know anybody. And from there, he can move himself up and be where he should be. I truly believe he's going to be a Power 5 coach, but it just is going to take time. It's going to take time, and it should not. He's already put in his work, and that's the thing that's really pisses me off. It's like, what else does he have to do? He's been at mid-majors. He's been at HBCUs as the head person. Now, can some athletic director trust him? I mean, I think him having Duke on his resume and being on the ground floor for Manny Diaz, because you never know what might happen. He could take another job, man. He could take another job pops open. I think he should be at a Power 5 conference. If he's able to show that he has that resume, he moves up. Maybe he's the offensive coordinator sooner or later. Maybe some athletic director says, shit, I know as soon as this person leaves, I need to have Willie Simmons on the phone. And I think that'll be a advantageous idea. North Carolina State, hey, UNC, hey, the guys can recruit, he can play, he's a former player, he understands, he can connect with all kind of players, especially the black players that you want to bring into your program because of his HBCU background. It is what it is. So hopefully he's at the Power 5 level soon, and We could just stop all this nonsense of why you gotta leave at HBCU. Come on, y'all. Let's just be real. Heritage Sports.